Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another weekly live drawing session. This is our weekly illustration inspiration session for brave beginners to the art of illustration. Those who are looking for some inspiration and would like a weekly prompt to practice their illustrations. And these are what these sessions are all about. All are welcome. Hello, Jessica. So good to see you here, my friend. I'm excited about our drawing sessions today. This is all very new. So if you are tuning in, then welcome and thank you so much for your support by just showing up, and thank you for practicing your art. It is important that we do this. It is important that we express and grow our creative muscles. So if you are not familiar with these weekly sessions, then we are here to get a random selection of prompts that are going to encourage us to do a drawing for the week. We can then share that drawing if we choose to over in Substack, or we can not share. It's completely up to you. So it is a zero pressure learning and practice. So there is zero barrier to entry. I'm just going to pull up my sheet while I have it here, and I want to show you what we created. Well, I want to show you what our inspiration was for last week, what our prompts were. I just got to find it quickly. So so we have a worksheet, and this is the worksheet that we work from. And what we had last week, let me just show you here. This is what we had last week. So last week we drew a cat, a Siamese cat. It was curvy in shape and rectangular. It had big head, a big nose, small ears, small eyes, and then long legs, but a short tail and short arms. We drew that with a little bit of detail, a little bit of texture. We used a brush set number 7, whatever that is for you. So if you're a digital illustrator, then the onus is on you to create your favorite brush sets that you want to get familiar with, number them accordingly, and then use that according to the prompt. Our line style was that of crayon, and then the feeling of the image was that of relief. The scene was a corner shop, the object was an instrument, and the action was sneaking. And so the invitation was to dip into our imaginations and come up with an idea for a drawing, a concept that we could then put together. And this one, let me show you, this was my drawing. That's what I came up with. So there's our Siamese cat, there's the relief because its instruments were being stolen by the rascal raccoon over there, corner shop, and there's people were sneaking a peek. And yeah, I'm very happy with how that came out, and the brush set, and although there is a little bit of detail there, it's not overtly detailed, and there's not that much texture, although given the brush set that I used, there was some inherent texture over there. How did it go for you? How was your drawing from this prompt, if you followed along? I know, Jessica, that you shared your drawing, and that was so cute. I'm curious as to whether I should share other people's drawings. I feel like it's not necessarily up to me to draw other people, to share other people's drawings, but I would love to know your feedback on whether that's something you would like to have done for both your own drawing to be shared or to see other people's drawings. So let me know in the comments down below. What I'm also going to do, I'm just going to start going live on Substack as well, because Substack is where we can share our photos with each other. that is where we can share, I mean, not our photos, our drawings. That's where we can share our drawings with each other. And we can also ask for advice or input, you know, feedback on our drawings. So yeah, if you are wanting to get, you know, a little bit of support or to just be drawing alongside other novice illustrators, then Substack is where we're doing that. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link is beneath this video right now. If you're watching this on Substack, then you'll find the chat. I don't know where you find the chat. If you look onto my publication on Substack, there should be some kind of link to the chat where you can then share the group in which you can share your drawings, and also where you can get the worksheet. So yeah, every time that we do this illustration or this inspiration session, I share the worksheet there so that we're all on the same page, literally, and then we can all go about doing our drawing. So the first part of these live sessions is about discovering what the random prompts for our drawing will be, and then we just have a nice little drawing session together, just to get rid of that blank page and just to start, because oftentimes as a novice illustrator, that is the hardest part. The hardest part is just starting. So if you are ready, and Jessica, you're open if you want to share mine. Okay, fabulous. Let's share Jessica's. She's so lovely and yeah, just so eager. I love it. So let me show you in the chat over here. Was it here? Yes, there we go. There is Jessica's gorgeous drawing. I love it. It's so cute. And I believe you're starting out in Procreate. Are you starting out in Procreate now, Jessica? Which app did you use here? That looks like Sketchnote, just judging by the icons over there. Thank you so much for sharing. Your enthusiasm is contagious, and that's exactly the point of these sessions, is that enthusiasm and creativity is contagious. So yeah, this is where we share all of our art and all of the prompts. I also do weekly Friday morning Zen Doodle sessions. So the Zen Doodle sessions are for relaxation as an act of mindfulness, a practice of mindfulness, and then these illustration sessions are for flexing our creativity muscles, for inspiration, and it's for practicing our art. So that's the two kinds of drawing I do on this channel and in this group. Fantastic. Okie dokie. So let us get cracking with our prompts for this week. So if you are new, then you'll notice that our subject we're limited to cat and dog, of course. Anything that we have here is prompts. You can decide to follow or to do something differently. So feel free to, you know, cross that out and put different animals, or put boy and girl, or put man and woman, or whatever it is that, you know, subjects you prefer to do. So you can use this as a general framework, or you can follow along very specifically. It's just that I happen to like cats and dogs, and so that's what I want to draw all the time. And the way that we go about this is we've got our wheels of inspiration. So we're going to start with our subject. What are we drawing this week? Is it going to be a cat or a dog? Let us see. There we go. Hi, Carl. You are watching over on Substack. I've still got my 2 cameras set up here, so it's all a little bit. Okay, this week we're drawing a dog. This is the first dog. Oh, not my yoga studies. This is the first dog that we are drawing on this weekly challenge. So we're drawing a dog this week. Okay, what breed of dog? Let us find out. Dog breeds. Need my music on. We are drawing a chow. Okay, chow, 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 chow. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there we go. Chow. Okay, fluffy chows. Body size. So body type. Then we've got to change our wheel. It's going to be a skinny or a curvy chow. Skinny. So it's going to be a skinny chow. The shape, the main shape of our dog, and also what other, other things, features in the drawing. So it's square. So it's not just limited to the character, the main character, but it can also be other elements in the drawing as well. So square is the main shape. I just want to put on my music. I don't know why it's not playing here. Can you hear the music? I don't know that I can hear it. Let me see here. Background jazz. Oh, no. Let me know if you can hear it. No, you can't. Okay. Why is that not playing? Sorry guys, I just want to have music in the background. I draw best when I have music in the background. Background jazz. I don't know why the music is not playing. I will have to play it elsewhere. Okay, that's a secondary thing. I can sort that out afterwards. Let's go back here. Okay, so let's get drawing and then I can do that. Okay, so head, ears, eyes, and nose. Are they going to be big or small on our square chow? Okay, so first one is head. Big head. Okie dokie. Big head. Ears. Small ears. Okay. Eyes. Big eyes. Big eyes. Nose. Small nose. Okay, small nose. All right, and then arms, legs, and tail. Are they long or are they short? So we go to the long and short wheel. So that is arms. Let's start with the arms. Long arms. And you can absolutely decide, how closely you follow this worksheet or the inspiration, the prompts. Legs. For instance, if you don't anthropomorphize your animals, then it doesn't matter what, the difference between arms and legs. You draw them anatomically correct or however you choose. So long legs, tail. Let's see, short tail. Okie dokie. Perfect. All right, moving on to style. So with regard to style, we're looking at detail and texture. Do we want a lot of it or a little bit of it? So this calls for a new wheel for style. So lots or little. So detail. Little detail. Okay. Little detail. Texture. Well, you know what? I think my Bluetooth earphones are on. I think that's what's happening. So texture. Yes, indeed, they are playing in my earphones. Lots of texture. Okay. Lots of texture. Okay, let's go. I'm going to put background jazz on. Oh, you can hear it now, Jessica. I'm turning off my earphones. There we go. Okay. We have music! Hurrah! Mystery solved. It's always a Bluetooth device of some sort. Is that too loud for you? Just let me know. There we go. Okay, good. So lots of texture, a little bit of detail. All right, line style. I'll be honest, this is line style. This is one that sometimes I stick to, sometimes I don't. Line style is pencil. So what style of outline? Pencil. Okay, brush set. So again, okay, cool, thank you. The brush set refers to those of us who are doing digital illustration. And when I started out with digital illustration, certainly with Procreate as an app, the number of brushes available, firstly what comes inherent in the app, but then what you can find online and download and use, it is overwhelming. And that actually, it was counterintuitive, but it stunted my progress. So I found this to be a good way of minimizing the overwhelm and the procrastination that came with deciding on a brush set. Like what kind of brushes am I going to use to illustrate with as I am learning. So if you are new, then my advice to you, choose a maximum of 10, even half that if you need to. Group them together, name them, and then that's where this becomes relevant. If you are an analog artist, then group your favorite pens, top 3 pens into a group, or your paintbrushes, or your pencils, or whatever tools you're using. Just make a note of how would you group them according to how you want to master them, and then you can use that as a way of guiding. So let's see, which brush set are we going to use? 5, number 5. Okay. And then lastly, the final S of our 4S framework here is story. So we're going to start with the emotions and feeling. So what is the main emotion or feeling of this illustration? And that calls for our final set of wheels. So emotion and feeling. Anxiety. Ooh. Okay, anxiety. Then scene. What is the scene? Where will our main character be? In a bedroom. Okay, bedroom. Then object. What object will be prominent in our drawing? Mushrooms. Ooh, a couple of ideas are coming to mind. Mushrooms. An anxious person, an anxious dog in a bedroom with mushrooms. Okay. I like it. And then finally, our actions. And that's what I love about this process, is that literally the drawings that I have drawn as a result of this practice, they would never exist if I didn't have this little system. My imagination would just not come up with it. Reading. Ooh, okay. This feels very very aligned. Like all of the prompts, they seem to come together. Reading. They are not in alphabetical order. They're in color order. Okay, so I will pop this down. Let me export this now so that I can put it into the chat of our Substack group so that you have it. Here we go. Here's our illustration prompt for this week. Okay, so it is there in the group. You can go and access that, download it, use it as a reference. And so now we are at that part of the session where we're going to start sketching this out. So grab your coffee, your tea, your water, whatever it is that you need. Ease into this session, this creative session. Grab your pencil pens, and we are going to start drawing. Here's one that I was working on. I volunteer at a cat cafe called Crumbs and Whiskers, and although the photo was taken a while ago and Elsa has since been adopted, I found this unfinished sketch, so I was going to start finishing it. Now I'm going to start another one. This is my cat's folder. So in Procreate, I don't know why, I don't have a reason for it, but I tend to draw on a square canvas. And then I'm going to pull up our prompt list so that I've got it to hand. Let's see, on an iPad, just slide it over so that you've got it there, and then open the main app, open Procreate. So I can always just refer to it. Okay, oh no, that's the wrong one. Damn, I hope I didn't, there we go. Is that it? Dog, yeah. Okay, so brush was number 5, brush set number 5. So you can see, I mean, I've got so many different brushes, it's ridiculous. So that's why I decided my favorites. I put a little banner over there, and then I've got 1 to 10 in terms of brush sets. So brush set number 5, Mimi's pencils and crayons. Those are the ones I'm doing. Okay, so simple sketching. And it's useful, I find, to do, you know, try out other artists' brushes, because they, you know, come before us, and we grow from there by following their example. So there's a sketching brush and then a pencil brush, which is very appropriate because pencil line is the style we're doing. And then it's going to be very crayon colored in, you know, the coloring in is going to be very crayon based. So the first thing is to start sketching the initial sketch, and this is a very messy process, which is why I like to share it here. So it is a skinny chow in a bedroom with mushrooms and reading. So taking a deep breath in. And just going to contemplate what I'm going to draw here. Generally start out, let's see. I think I'm going to start out with just drawing the layout of the bedroom, perhaps. Doesn't need to be perfect in any way. This is a messy, loose part of the drawing. And I find that start without a fully formed idea. I don't fully know where I'm going yet. But I'm just getting the paper, getting the pen to the paper. I hope you can see this okay. Oh, it's a bit light, eh? Let me just change the exposure here. Can you see that? Is that better? So that you can see what I'm doing. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll just put it out there. I'm not a professional. I am still very much a novice illustrator. I do not know much, so you don't have to know much. And I don't know if that is useful. Sometimes, certainly when I first started practicing drawing, I got a little bit, as helpful as I found the more advanced illustrators, sometimes it would have the opposite effect. I don't know if that's just me. I'd get despondent because I'm nowhere near, you know, their level of expertise. Just part of the learning process, of course. So I put myself in this position to force myself to just do the thing. Okay, so this is maybe there's a plant here or something. So we have the makings of a bedroom scene. Now I need to incorporate somewhere along the line our little chow who's reading, and mushrooms. Okay. So the concept that I'm kind of toying with right now I'll just turn this down a smidgen. That's a particularly loud song. The concept I'm toying with right now is that, oh goodness, I keep erasing things. My little chow. I would love to hear what your ideas are as well for yours. Is that my little chow is over here on the bed. He's got a big head. And sometimes, well, I said this in the last video, I will, if I don't know the breed, then I will look them up on Pinterest as a reference. But I've got a fairly good idea. Square, so he needs to be a little bit squarish in shape, and he is skinny. So I'm just going to square him out a smidgen. So the concept is that my little chow, there must be a word for people who grow mushrooms. Not necessarily magic mushrooms, but mushrooms. Fungi, I guess. Could be. Fungi fanatics. And his mushroom is unhappy, and he's going to be reading a book on how to make your fungi happy. And he's going to be anxious. So that's the concept I'm going with. I would love to know what your concept is. Maybe your mushroom is anthropomorphized and is reading a book or is anxious. Okay, so let's see. What is the tail of a... Or do we have to do a small tail? Short tail. They've got big floofy tails. Big head, small ears. Okay, we'll get to the eyes and nose shortly. Long arms and legs. His position doesn't really lend itself. we start on the face. How is your drawing going so far? Are you drawing along? Let me know. What's your concept? What's your idea? I'm going to say that he's got a pillow behind him because that's what I would do. And his bed covers open this way. Something like that. Oh, moving position. There's probably a chair here. Saving your drawing for this weekend. I have some ideas I'm pondering though. Awesome. Yes, that's it. I mean, that's the thing. That's sometimes you have to sit with an idea to bring it to life. And oftentimes I will, it'll, like that concept will come in a very rudimentary format. And it takes a while for it to take shape, which is also why this process for me is a little bit out of my comfort zone, because I'm kind of going from initial prompt to drawing. Just putting a little mat on the floor. What did it say? Detail, little detail, so I don't need to really overdo it on how much is in the actual room. I think that's good. I might put this bed on some legs. And I'm making all the legs square. I was contemplating making legs round, but as the shape, the main shape is square, I'm going with that. And you can also see I move around. There is no like set. I don't finish him fully before moving on to the next thing, because again I need a little bit of space. But I think I'm quite happy with this. Might do a bit of a windowsill. And what do you call that? I don't know what that's called. Or I can't think of it right now. Where the curtains go. And I think what I will do to bring the square theme in here is that the curtains will have square patterns. That's how you can introduce the shape. Okay, so we've got squares there. Here's the mushroom's bowl should be a square. I didn't do that one very well. Okay. Chair can be square too. Okay, and then we'll start on his face. So big head, small ears, check. And they have these fluffy ears, so there's going to be lots of fluff here. Big eyes, okay. And a small nose. And he's anxious because his mushroom is unhappy. Okay, so he's anxious, so he's not terribly happy. He's got a little snout. They do look a little bit like bears. Okay. And then eyes. What should we do for eyes? I do find myself when I'm drawing the expression of the animal, my face does the expression too. So he's got big eyes. Anxiety. Let me just think about anxiety. So it would be big eyes. And his eyebrows would kind of be out here, I reckon, something. And maybe he's got a little bead of sweat there. I wonder if he wears glasses. Let's see. His eyes are not the same shape. I struggle with eyes. They take me a long time to get right. And also deciding on the style of eyes. I struggle with that. Could they be just little dots, or are they these big eyes with irises? I guess in this case. Prompt calls for big eyes, so I'm gonna go with that. And so he's reading here, this be his pupils. I feel like his face is too much, it's too high on his head, because he would be looking down. See, this is the beauty of digital. You can just move it. Okay, there we go. So you're seeing more of his head, and so the position of his ears are wrong as well, because he's looking down. It's funny what you pick up when you practice. I remember reading about that somewhere in some other illustration tutorial. That if they're looking down, then their features must be further down in the shape of the head. And here I am applying that knowledge. Okay, how to grow happy mushrooms. Maybe there's paraphernalia here. Maybe there's a watering jug. And I don't know, packets of plant food. Maybe it's a big bag. Okay, I'll leave that there. So I'm basically just putting down ideas that I'm having right now. Not all of these will end up in the final image, but maybe they do. He's reading his book. What else do we need in here? Bedroom, mushroom, reading. I've only got one mushroom. It says mushrooms. I'm not going to sweat it. I'll keep it simple. I think like there might be a lamp up here. Don't like that. This mat needs to be square. And then you can also start with regard to the anxiety theme, emotion. You can also start to think of what colors kind of call to mind anxiety. So I think I will probably draw this or color it as if it's in the night. So helpful that the lamp is there, the light is there, it's the light fixture. So he's doing an all-nighter, and I think I'm going to make it that it is nighttime outside. There are stars in the sky. It's going to be dark. Slither of a moon. This is more just for my remembering the concept than actually what it's going to look like. So that's nighttime there, and then it's going to be dark. It does look more like a bear right now than a chow. I'm sure the coloring will help with that. Oops. All right, Jessica, thanks for joining. Let me know, how is your drawing going? I'm gonna look up here, see how we're doing. We are still live here on Substack as well. From here, my next step would be to, getting terrible ziggy-zaggies on there. Would be to then start doing the main line work. So on Procreate, moving the sketch up here. If you are conscientious, you'd rename your layers so that it's easy to see. It does actually help, so it is worth the effort. So line work. Line work actually goes on top, and then you can reduce the opacity of your sketch layer. Okay, and now that we are going to the line work, the line style is pencil, all right? So I'll try this pencil number 2. I don't draw with this brush set very often, so yeah, this is very much an experiment. Can you see that okay? Maybe I need to increase. It's quite a cloudy day here today, so the light is changing a lot. Let me know if you can see it okay. I don't know if you, oh, of course I've reduced the opacity, so it would be a little bit faint at the moment. All right, so now with the line work. I'm just looking at the time. These sessions are intended to be an hour long, and we're coming up to the top of the hour. So let me know. Oh, I don't like the thickness of this pencil at all. Okay, I'm gonna just go to the next one and just see how thick that is. And let me just close that out. There we go, let's see. Yeah, okay. I guess we're doing that. I'm also wanting to experiment more with loose drawings, so not being so particular with the line work. Just want this a little bit thinner. Having a looseness. I'm just feeling these days like I'm in a bit of a let's experiment with looseness. I noted, I saw another illustrator drawing, and she's got a beautifully loose style. And I noticed just how she holds her pen or a pencil when she is working. She is an analog artist, but I think the same principle applies. And she doesn't hold it quite so tight here. When I draw, I tend to grip quite tightly, and then I'm very low down on the pencil. And I noticed that she kind of holds it like a loose chopstick, you know, like somebody who's proficient with eating Chinese food. So I am going to take a leaf from her page. But that brings us to the top of the hour, so I'm going to stop it there. I want to thank you so much for joining on this illustration session. As I mentioned, you can go and grab this, the prompts over in the Substack chat. Link is below this video on YouTube, and if you're following me here on Substack, then head on over to the Never Ending Novice publication and you'll find the link for this chat. And then feel free to share your drawings. And so this is our prompt for the week. We will work on that during the course of the week, and then reconvene same time, same place next week, and share our drawings, and then get the next week's list of prompts. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope that you have at least some marks on your page, even if it's not a fully formed concept. Maybe just some doodling ideas. Things can change. It's not set in stone. So yeah, that is all that these sessions are for, is to get you started, get you out the gates. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for joining in, and I will see you again soon.